In this video and illustration, we're going to learn about the development of abstract thinking, which occurs around the age of 11 or 12. So let's watch the illustration, and I'll be back in a minute.
So, you remember the family of origin, squiggly line boundaries, based in love, trust, respect? And remember, what I teach is the opposite of that, which is respect, trust, love. Okay? Well, here's the interesting thing. Abstract thinking begins around the age of 11 to 12 years old. And it continues and develops all the way through to age 26. This is a long growth spurt. And where abstract thinking occurs, this is the brain. I know, don't make fun of my brain, okay? Is right here in the prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex. So think about behind your forehead, okay? So this abstract thinking is very, very important because, as I said in the video, it is the beginning of critical thinking. And you want to have critical thinking knowledge and critical thinking skills in order for you to be able to discern life in general. The interesting thing about abstract thinking is because it develops between about age 11 and 12, it's when all of a sudden parents start noticing their children questioning them a lot. And the other thing that I find interesting about between 11 and 12 is literally it's as if we are moving away from a love, trust, respect ideology into a respect, trust, love. Now, what do I mean by that? So I have had a lot of teenagers in the past say to me, I wish that my parents would just respect and trust me more. And then I've heard parents say, I wish my teenager would just respect and trust me more. Well, isn't it interesting that they always talk about respect and trust? They're not talking about the love. We know the love exists, okay? They're talking about the respect and the trust. But because you were raised in this kind of family, by the way, all of us were raised in this kind of family of love, trust, respect, we're not sure how to translate from that ideology over to this ideology.
Abstract thinking is very important and develops between the ages of 11 and 12 all the way to age 26. It develops in the prefrontal cortex, which is the executive decision maker of our brain, and it develops our moral and ethical fiber so that we know the difference between right and wrong. Other than externally learning it, we internalize the difference between right and wrong. We internalize the consequences of our actions through our behaviors, through the mistakes that we make and the lessons that we learn. This is a very important developmental stage for people. And oftentimes, I think I might have said in the illustration that this is when, like, parents would say to a therapist, you know, my child used to do whatever I asked them to do. Who this little attorney is, this little lawyer is, I don't know what to do with them. Because abstract thinking means that we question things. We ask why. And we ask why because we want to know the consequences of the behaviors that we have and that we're learning. Okay? So I think, let me just look at my cheat sheet, because you know I have these. One more thing I wanted to add. As we develop and change, our peers also help us develop this abstract thinking. If someone is behaving immorally or not ethically, like to another friend, the other friends might call them out on that. They might say, hey, buddy, why are you behaving that way? That helps us check our behavior and helps us develop ourselves also through peer pressure, our ethical and moral fiber. Very, very important developmental stage between the ages of 11 and 26. That's 15 years. That's a long time. Okay? I think you have the concept. Enough said. Bye now.